The Adidas Eurocamp is going on, and I was unaware that this was even happening this weekend. I'm familiar with the event. I remember we covered it a little bit last year, but it basically Eurocamp is an Adidas-led event where Adidas athletes and teams that are sponsored by Adidas end up going overseas and interacting with European athletes and teams and playing games. It's pretty cool event, honestly. Pretty unique event in terms of summer prep basketball. You had some former NBA and EuroLeague stars in attendance this year. Gershon Yabusele and EuroLeague's great Sergio Rodriguez were there speaking with campers. This is the 18th annual Adidas Eurocamp. So at this point, pretty big time event. Derrick Rose was even in attendance this year. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff. You can find content coverage of all of this online. What I want to talk through is more of the basketball that actually happened because there are some players we are greatly interested in that we've been covering the recruitments of who are in attendance participating in this event that seem to be showing out. A couple specific standout performers from what I've heard. Colben Landrew has arguably been the best player in the event, which kind of crazy given how we've talked about he's like a low four-star. Kind of surprised Purdue's getting in the mix for him in SEC country. And here he is going to Europe and kind of shining next to some five-star recruits. Caleb Holt, guy that we love. Kentucky seriously prioritizing Caleb Holt. He's been a stud. Anthony Thompson is here at this event. I haven't heard that he's been crushing it, and box scores reflect that as well, but he's probably the most prestigious ranked recruit at this event from what I've seen. And we can probably stop there, but there's other names as well. Tay Kinney, newly signed Adidas athlete, is at this event and also playing well from what I have seen. But what have you heard? I'll just keep it broad to you. I know you've been keeping an eye on the Adidas Eurocamp. What has been your biggest takeaway from what you've heard over the weekend?
So, first of all, I want to shout out my guy, John. Sorry, I'm gonna butcher your last name. It's John Chep on Twitter. I think it's Chepkovich, I think is his
Yep.
last name. Uh, I appreciate all the video that he's been doing and just the box score stuff as well. That I've kind of been able to see. I think there's been some impressive performances. I was a little bit surprised to see that Colben Landrew was one of the better players there. Just given how we kind of talked about him, but once again, a kid who I think is just able to produce. But it's funny, have you been hearing kind of the American recruits have been not like struggling, I guess, but like they've kind of been they just been losing to the other teams.
I have heard this. Yeah. This video is brought to you by NBA 2KLab.com. 2K Lab worked with us last summer as well. They're one of our favorite entities in all of sports gaming. We want to show you their college basketball stadium locator challenge game. And I'm going to share a screen right now as we do this. South Carolina, bang. Oh,
Ooh,
okay, that's pretty good. Next, North Carolina. Why are we only getting the Carolinas?
please
Bang.
lock in.
St. John's, that's New
New
York.
York.
Bang.
Where's New Jersey?
We're on fire. Colorado. I actually don't know what state Colorado is.
It's it's in Colorado. There's a state of
Is that
Colorado.
this one?
It's to the right of Phoenix.
Anyway, you get the picture. This game's really fun. They've got more games as well, like Guess the NBA Player, Mystery Fantasy Draft, and more. Stay tuned for all of the college football content and games that they'll be putting together to help you get the best experience out of college football 26. Back to the video.
Yeah, so like I think you're getting some good individual performances, but also like at the same time, some of the Adidas kids aren't necessarily like I guess the best of the best in the class of 20. Like there are a few players that you mentioned that are, ranked and things like that, but I think there is like some super high level talent that's missing from like the American team, I guess.
Yeah, the basically the 3SSB Select is the team full of American kids, and that team again, I'll just read some names. We already said the big ones we're interested in, but Darion Rippey, Tay Kinney, Caleb Holt, Colben Landrew, Bo Ogden, Davion Atkins, Jalen Davis, Cameron Williams, Bruce Branch, Anthony Thompson, Latrell Allman, and Alex Egbuonu. Uh, you're right. It's not the most prestigious group of guys possible here. To me, the big names are the ones we mentioned: Tay Kinney, Caleb Holt, Colben Landrew, and I I view Tay Kinney as a big time winner. That's just sort of who he is to me. I think he's one of the very best prospects in this class. He's been okay from what I've seen. I don't think this has been his best week of performances. Caleb Holt's been super productive, leading his team in minutes and shots in the box scores that I've seen. And Colben Landrew's been doing everything. That's the biggest takeaway. And I feel like he's the buzziest name from all of this to me. There's been people kind of like I think we expect Caleb Holt to go kill. Colben Landrew at this type of event being really, really uber productive, hitting his threes also. He went 3 for 3 from three in the second game, has probably been the biggest takeaway for me. For what it's worth, Landrew had 15 points in game one, 21 points and 5 boards in game two. In those 2 games, he's shooting 6 for 8 from three, which has been like one of the question marks on his game. So I think he's showing out in a huge way. And the latest schools that are after him, we mentioned it's a bunch of SEC, Alabama, Auburn, Georgia type schools. Purdue still really prioritizing in. Dusty May snuck onto a list, Cart.
I did see that.
Dusty May snuck in, my friend.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it.
I'm just saying.
I, sometimes. Sometimes I can't do this with you, bro. But look, I think that Landrew being productive is not anything that's, I guess crazy. I think that he has been productive on the Adidas circuit, high school level. And I think the dude's just like I feel like I've reached a point with him too where I kind of stopped looking at it like, oh, he's just like a football player that's kind of just like playing back. Like the kid's just a hooper.
Yeah,
He's a hooper and he's productive. And I think he uses his strengths and things like that. Um, to just to be able to dominate in events like this.
yeah, I agree. So we'll see.
Have you been seeing that Kansas State kid?
Who's that?
I think his name is Kostic.
No.
There's like I mean, he was getting like a bunch of clips and like rave reviews I saw on the X World, and I was like looking up the actual footage of him at this camp. He's nasty,
Really?
like really nasty to the point where I'm not sure if he's like the starting two guard or something like that, but I'll start like workshopping PJ Haggerty and this kid backcourts.
Okay.
Like I might be doing the thing again.
All right. Well,
Like
I mean
put
that's
on
fine.
throw on lowdown.
That's fine. I'm willing to allow you to do the thing a little more.
Thank you.
You're welcome.